Hey guys, it's Ryan here. I'm going to walk you through a couple things about maintaining your bike, because be good to your bike and your bike will be good to you. That's what my mechanic taught me. So first things first, we're going to go through cleaning the chain on your bike. It's very important because it's very easy to get a lot of dust and dirt built up in here. So go to your bike store, buy just some nice Teflon lube, anything really. They'll be glad to help you out there. So come on in close here, and we'll see. What we want to do is you want to get the lube on the inside of the chain. So watch, I'm gonna move my chain, and I'm gonna be backpedaling all the way through, squeezing out lightly, backpedaling through. Want to go at least 1 or 2 times around, getting the lube in the middle of the chain all the way through. Alright, so I've gone about 2 times all the way around now. Once you make sure you get a good amount of lube on the inside, you want to grab an old rag that you're not going to need anymore, and you're going to want to make sure you get all the excess lube on the outside. So use the rag, and in reverse, you're going to want to clear all the excess lube on the outside of the chain, because any excess lube on the outside is just going to collect more dirt and dust. So you want to make sure you get all the excess while leaving the lube on the inside. So just nice and smooth, wringing it all the way through. Alright. As you can see, just get in the outside and come in close, and you can see the chains nice and clean and smooth all the way through. There we go. Now shifting all the way through. If you want to come from behind the bike, come from behind the bike and see if that angle straight behind. Nothing's rubbing. Everything's running all the way smooth all the way through. On that same note, another thing you're going to want to check is your brakes. So if you come behind the bike again and see here, you always want to make sure your brakes are lined up perfectly. Want to make sure you have enough room in between, but you want them as tight to the wheel as possible. So there's a little distance that your brakes need to move when you're braking. So when I squeeze my brakes, you can see it's nice and tight. Nice and tight while there's no rubbing. See? Run smoothly all the way through. We'll do the same thing really quickly. Make sure the brakes on the front are aligned as well. Come in close again here. Make sure everything's lined up nice and straight, so when you're ready to race, there's not going to be any rubbing at all. So I got a little bit of rubbing right now. There we go. Now it's nice and smooth all the way through. Alright, now that we have that, one last thing you're going to want to always remember, pretty much every time before you go out riding, you're going to want to pump your tires. So what we have here is just a regular pump, but make sure you get one with a gauge on it. And so for all those people out there riding road bikes, you want to make sure your road tires are pumped up to about 110, 120 psi. So I ride my bike pretty regularly, but every time before I go out, I'm still pumping up my tires. If you come in close here again, this is all pretty basic, but just going over it to make sure. You want to twist the cap all the way to the top. Put the pump on and push it all the way down. Make sure it's secure and lift up. Come here and we'll watch it pump up to 120 psi. There we go. And when you're pulling off, take it off and make sure you pull straight up. If you wiggle it or pull side to side, you run the risk of breaking your valve, and you will need to get a new tube. And changing tires is not fun, and that's something we'll go over next time. One more time in the back. Same scenario. Twist your lid off. Move the valve all the way up. Straight on. Valve up. All the way up to 120. Pull your valve pump straight off. Seal it up. And you're ready to go. If you do all these things right, it'll make sure your chain stays good and clean, and your wheels will keep moving, because the last thing you want is a flat tire. So those are just a couple of things to get you ready on your bike and training, practicing, ready to go. And we will come back next time with how to change a tire possibly, and a few more helpful tips. So thanks guys, and I'll see you soon.